collecting the last page. Collecting the last page in Piggy. What of him, lab? I don't know why they don't make one for like a decay chapter, the hunt, the heist, breakout, distorted memory, house.exe. Like, why don't they make like pages for others? It's not fair. Okay, love it. I was gonna try to close the door. I think I know what the last page is. I think I know what it is. Let's try to see if I'm correct. The mundo. I think it's over here. Because it might be somewhere secret. I'm correct! I just got the freaking willow skin. Come to me, distorted Peppa. Please, please kill me. Guess what we officially got? Oh wait, no, it's freaking book 2. We got the willow skin! We got the willow skin! Let's try to read every page. Book 1. I was tasked to investigate reports of a missing child named Georgie. As I arrived at the Piggy's household for any leads, I began to notice things were off. It was unusually quiet and quaint. A breeze of unease shrouded me as I stepped out of my vehicle. Without a moment to react, I blacked out and woke up in the bedroom of the house with a beaming headache. Someone had knocked me out and brought me here. Why? Can't see that, bro. There are cracks on my computer screen. Might have to take a picture. Might have to take a picture and see my captures. Oh, come on. They wanted to get rid of me. Why didn't they finish the job? While attempting to piece things together, I encountered a strange, crazed pig with different eyes and a hunger for harm. It didn't talk, it just chased me. Terrifying. As soon as I escaped the house, I decided to get back to the station and get help. But what we have here seems to be much more than a missing animal case. The Piggy household looks oddly peaceful. When I reached the station, I had found it to be unusually quiet. No officers celebrating, no criminals ratting their cell doors. Nothing. Then the intercom system spurted out a warning to get to the garage. The voice sounded familiar. It was Doggy, my old partner. I don't know why he showed up on his day off. Maybe it was a distress call that all officers received while I was unconscious in the Piggy house. As I crept about to unlock the garage, I encountered yet another strange-looking pig. I don't know if that says crept. It appeared to have black eyes and a violent attitude, just like the last one. What is it with these animals? What happened to them? And what made them like this? Once I opened the garage door, fueled the escape car, and left with Doggy, I felt a sense of dread overwhelm me. I go out, but did not feel safe. I needed to find out what was going on. The cells, all empty. I guess they took advantage of the situation. Chapter 3, Gallery. It turns out the gas can I picked up was almost empty because we found ourselves running out pretty quick. To make matters even worse, we stopped in front of the middle of a city. A couple of the infected, as Doggy calls them, surrounded our car. We rushed into the nearby building, gallery. I haven't been here since we started investigating a reported robbery last month. It seemed to be a little run down as well. We quickly sealed the building, only to soon realize that the infected entered as well. It was very strange to see a place once so calm became so chaotic. Doggy told me that he never liked galleries anyway. Sealing ourselves in wasn't the best idea, I'll admit. Correctamundo! Chapter 4, Forest. Doggy and I have been safe and sound in this forest for weeks now. We've been silently visiting small towns and taking supplies from them. We spoke for days about what we'll do when it's over. Doggy said he'd like to travel south someday and visit old monuments and ruins. I don't know what I'd do. Couldn't get my mind off of the world state. One night, I woke up to discover a broken and empty potion and a missing friend. I looked around, found Doggy. He was one of them. My gut sank. Oh my god, the cracks on my screen. Where did this potion come from? Oh wait. And I run weak. And I ran weak. Where did this potion come from? And why did he drink it? Was he forced to? He had red eyes, not like the others. Someday, I'll get to the bottom of this. As I left the forest to no longer be faced with such a harsh blow to my heart, I came across a radio with a voice that instructed me to head to a school. Clinging onto anything to distract my mind, I followed their instructions. Others had the idea to stay too. It looks like it worked out for the same way as it did for us. Still recovering from the loss of Doggy, I felt out of touch with reality. Like I was a blur just floating through time. However, I pressed on. The radio I found in the forest instructed me to help them out and find their friend trapped in a school. Maybe if I couldn't save my friend, to save theirs. That's when I met Bunny. A sharpshooter bunny with an eye patch. She had barricaded herself in the school's surveillance room after a failed supply run. She was very kind, not to mention thankful. Her enthusiasm inspired me to be strong and get a hold of myself. As we headed back to the sewers to meet up with the mysterious radio voice, my head started burning up. I did not feel too well at all. I ignored it and continued moving forward. We met with Mr. P, a very rich celebrity. It was certainly strange to find someone of his status walking about in the sewers. He thanked me for my help, but the more he spoke, the harder I found it to pay attention. My head hurt more until I passed out there. The last thing I remember was being wheeled in a hospital and seeing Doggy. The empty halls were haunted. My god, why did I say that in such a low voice? I woke up in a hospital with Bunny on my side. She seemed to lighten up when she saw my eyes open. Bunny explained that Mr. P and the researchers didn't think I'd make it. As I showed minimal symptoms of the infection, she didn't give up on me though. I rescued her, so she believed it was her duty to protect me from being tossed out and deemed a lost cause. Bunny also told me that I woke up in a perfect time, as the place was being evacuated. A doctor was infected and caused severe panic. I jumped out of the bed and got to the rooftop, where a helicopter was supposedly waiting for us. It wasn't there. They left without us. To who knows where. Bunny and I need to come up with a way to get out of the hospital ourselves, and fast. What a mess. It certainly seemed like a rush to get out of here. Chapter 7, Metro. Made our way through the hospital and down to the underground. Metro. Bunny and I spoke about Mr. P, and I told her my disbelief in him. I could not understand why he would not wait a moment longer for us. She explained that lately, she has become more and more delusional and obsessed with the search for a cure. Upon finally reaching the Metro, I started to work on repairs for the tram. Bunny sat down, not feeling too well. She told me she needed to get a rest before going on, and lent me her crossbow. When the repairs were ready, she told me that she was infected. My God, I hate these cracks on my screen! I was very... My God, I need... I cannot read it because of my cracks on the screen. Literally? No, not all locate. You know what? Never mind. Frick that. I ain't even gonna try to read this. Oh my God. My God. From 2028, it's time to stop laughing. Yeah, bro's gonna do some like... Never mind. I'm gonna try to read this. God. I hate these cracks on my screen. Oh my God. I was very reluctant to believe her. She explained that she was one of the test subjects in Mr. P's tear test at the hospital. Hers did not go so well. I told her that we could find a cure, and she could hold on long enough to find it. Bunny didn't want to go on as she feared putting me in danger. I got on the tram, looking back at her as she stayed behind to fight off any infected that may still be there. My heart sunk and my fist clenched. I was going to find Mr. P. You'll be missed, Bunny. You'll be missed! Oh yeah. I just realized, this is so obvious, but she stayed behind to fight off any infected that still may be here. And then that's what creates the decay chapter. Bro, why does like Twisted Bonnet's cry sound like a baby when you're getting your checkup, and then you hear that one baby going like, ah! I'm like, my God. I arrived at Chapter 8, Carnival. I arrived at Mr. P's Carnival to search for any leads on where he may be. Unfortunately, there is not much to be found besides an infected fox trapped in a cage. I shiver at the thoughts of how he could have possibly ended up like that. I met two survivors there, Zizzy and Pony. Zizzy was a cunning and skilled fencer. Pony was a clumsy yet comforting ally. They were kind enough to allow me to join them. They told me they were on a supply run, but found me on the way and trusted me enough. As I led back to their safe, house. They spoke a lot about untrustworthy people and how I should watch out for them. It seemed that this whole situation really brought out the worst in some. A beautiful sight in an ugly time. Chapter 9. City. We arrived at the city, a rundown mess. They set up their safe house and hotel. Now, it had plenty of beds and supplies. Recently, they've been running low. It was there I learned a few things about my two new allies. Zizzy taught her younger sister Z and Zizzy how to fight. Pony studied optometry like his father. I told him my story and how I was searching for Mr. P, saying his name struck something in me, negative emotion that burned inside my gut. As we spoke, we discovered a mysterious figure watching us. It didn't seem to be infected, as it ran away when we noticed it. Zizzy and I ran after it. With all this traffic, it looks like it must have been faster to just run. Chapter 10. Mall. We chased the figure to the mall, only to discover that it was Georgie, the missing child. He had a deep fear in his eye the moment we found him in a little fort, coupled with an awful stench. I asked him why he went missing. He told me about his family. They visited a hospital without him and they came back acting strange. So he ran off to find his grandmother in the city in hopes that she could help him out. Fortunately for him, City seemed to act all the same way. His family did by the time he got here. So he hid himself. This poor, cruel world took his family away from him. Could not imagine what that must feel like at his age. So we brought him back to the safe house with us. It was there I met the safe place crew. Zizzy's sisters, Mimi and Giraffe. Mimi was a smart engineer. She knew her way around technology quite well. Giraffe was a tough guy with a strong passion for nature and ecology. I don't know. He loved plants. The meeting was short-lived, however, as Mimi had managed to find the working helicopter signal at the nearby military outpost. Pony informed us the news. We left Georgie in the care of the others as Pony, Zizzy, and I journeyed the outpost. Georgie's hideout. I'm impressed with the survival skills. Yeah, even though he's like 6. Good job, Georgie. Chapter 11. Outpost. The outpost was swarming with infected soldiers. The three of us opened and sealed doors of the plant, where Mr. P presumably flew to. As I prepared to enter, Georgie showed up. He snuck out of the safe place and followed us. And I was not pleased to see him at all, because he could have been easily harmed. It was a relief to see him unscathed, though I can't say I was surprised after finding out how well he managed on his own. I want to see Mr. P the one responsible for making his family the way his family act the way they did. I reluctantly agreed to bring him along as long as he remained close and out of any more trouble. Georgie and I entered the plant, leaving Zizzy and Pony to fend off against the soldiers and protect us from being sworn. It was there that we found Mr. P speaking strangely. He seemed to hold a deep regret for his actions, and could not seem to cope with them. When he realized we were there, he believed that we were nothing but ghosts who had came to haunt him. Mr. P was unable to come to terms of reality and ran off. Followed him for a final. How am I forgetting to say that? Confrontation? Looks like whatever plans they had, they abandoned, I think. Chapter 12. Plant. Mr. P's delusional thoughts grew wilder, began to attack us in an attempt to get us to leave him alone. We paralleled, and I don't know if it's I don't know. I don't know because the words are too small. And trying to get his attention, but he would. You know what? Okay. No, not Piggy Pages. Oh yeah, I've read this book. Oh my god. You know, let's see if this just shows. Let's see if this just shows the pages too. Oh, he does. Let's just go straight to. Yeah, I cannot see that.
Nick.
I hate the cracks on my screen, bro. Trying to get his attention, but he wouldn't. It was not long before I, too, began to suffer from unwanted thoughts. You know, I'm not reading this. Just try to zoom in and read this on your own. The cracks on my screen is so bad. But that's all for book 1. Pause this if you want to read it, but